that everyone is doing well today. A little bit different of an angle today. I may switch over maybe halfway through or so. But for now, I'm trying to work with this tripod. It's kind of hard for me to do when I'm doing a stream because just looking at the chat and everything, but I do have my iPad here, so I should be able to see everything. I need to go ahead and set that up, so let me do that. But like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. I had a rough start to the week and wasn't feeling well, but thankfully I'm feeling better now and I'm here. So I'm going to pull up the stream really quickly on my iPad and then I will be back to working on the top. We are working on a mesh top today. So this is going to take a little while, but I've been only working on it for a few days and I've made pretty good progress. I feel like I'm at least a third of the way there. However, there will be another panel that I have to make. I didn't bring the rainbow one. I don't know where that one is right now. I'm waiting on rainbow thread to come in to finish the rainbow one that I have started, but until then, I have all this white crochet thread. So I said, ooh, let me make a white one because I can still use a white one as well. And then I also need to show you guys what I'm making. Hopefully the picture is on my iPad here. Sometimes they're not always on here. I don't see it. Okay, well, I can look it up. There is a YouTuber named Amazing-ish Grace, and she does a lot of crochet and knitting content. And so I was inspired by her. Here we go. This poncho right here. It's just a rectangle, essentially, but that is what I'm making. So you can kind of see, like here, what it's supposed to look. Sorry, but what it's supposed to look like. And it's basically two mesh panels. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Like I said, the rainbow will be definitely prettier, but also I think having a white one would be nice. So, and I couldn't wait until Saturday. I needed something to do, something to work on. So I also need more yarn to come in for my Hexie cardigan. So I have not started that yet either. Let me see. I don't know what's going on. I don't see a chat yet. Let me see. Let me make sure there's nothing weird going on. Trying to make it there on my iPad so that I can see everything good. Good. There we go. Wonderful. Now I can see the chat over here. So I put a little stitch marker in just because I'm kind of curious how far I'll go in the live stream. But it's literally really simple to make. All you have to do is make a chain to an odd number. And generally you want to measure from like your elbow to elbow for this kind of poncho, this kind of square style. And then once you get your measurement, I think mine was like 36 inches or something. You just want to make a chain to an odd number that fits your measurement. And then let's see, you skip 5 chains and then make a treble crochet and then skip 1, chain 1, make another treble crochet and continue all the way down. Oops, see, I didn't chain 1. And it's really, really simple. Really nice repetitive project to do while you're watching TV or something like that, I feel like. I'm using a 2.25 millimeter hook. I guess you kind of get away with whatever depending on the look you wanted to go for. Probably not too big, but can't remember what the crochet thread actually says to use. I think it may be like a 1 millimeter it says to use. Since this is a mesh top and I want it to have some movement, I feel like it's fine to go up a little bit, you know. And I'm going to steam it also, so that's going to help like make it flowy and nice. So I'm excited. Guys, am I crazy? Is there nobody here? There's people here, but I have no chat. I feel like you guys would be talking. Can someone say hello? Let me type and see if I see it. Hi. Because I'm not seeing anything on my... Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't anything wrong and I needed to restart. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bob. You can also see my dog chilling back here. My cat's also here. Kitty cat, puppy dog. Hi, Sonia. How are you? Ah, trying to get in between those. For some reason, some of the chains I have a hard time. There's like an extra little thread in there, and I'm like, why? All right, buddy, come on. You can do it. Wait, am I on the side? Hold on, wait. No, I'm not on the side. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that was so difficult. But anyway, hello. I hope everybody's doing well. If you missed what I'm making, I will show you guys in a minute. But basically, it's just a really simple. It's called. She calls it a poncho, but I don't know if that's what I would call it. Just because when I showed my friends, they were like, "I don't. Is that a poncho?" And I was like, because that's not what they were picturing in their brain, you know. But it's basically two rectangle mesh panels, and you seam them together. I think at the shoulders, and then I think below the arms, under the armpits. I think, and it makes like a kind of oversized little thing you can throw over tank tops and stuff. So I'm excited because I wear a lot of tank tops. Oh, you're good. Just taking a break from work. I understand that. I understand that. I was working earlier. I don't know if I'm going tomorrow just because I walk to work and it's going to be 18 degrees in the morning. Um, so I might have to go in a different day, but we'll see. It's going to be a cold week. The lows are going to be cold, but it was so warm the week before. Spoiled me. Now I'm like freezing every night. Eee, come on. Same problem. Arthur, are you being good back there? Yeah. What are you doing? Nothing, Mom. Kitty cat sleeping, of course. That's what it does best. Arthur, too, listen. Arthur. Excuse me. Arthur sleeps just as much or more than the cat, really. Forget my mic's over there. It's not on me because of my little thing on me. I think it would bump into it. That went a little funky. I don't think that was a treble. I guess you could do a double crochet too if you wanted a smaller hole. I'm down with the treble. I always want to call it a triple crochet, and I don't know that that's correct. I'm pretty sure it's called a treble, right? She also, Amazing Ish Grace, also put beads on hers, but I don't want to do that, at least for the first one or two, because I want to be able to just chuck it in the washing machine, honestly. So I'm like, eh. But I am going to steam block it, so hopefully that will help with everything too. But like I said, I just didn't want to put beads on it because I didn't want to have to hand wash it every time. But it is a cool idea. I just hope I've got to count the chain because technically when I made the chain, I just made sure it was an odd number to the right length. I did not count specifically. So I've got to go through and count how many stitches are in each row so that I can make the back panel the same size as the front panel. So, because otherwise when I sew them together, it might look a little strange. But I hope they turn out well. I feel like they will, especially by the time they're steamed and everything. I think they're going to turn out pretty well. Hi, Aisha. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope I don't sound like I'm super, super duper far away. If I am, I could move my mic. But I feel like it picks up pretty good. But I'm also quiet, so. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Sometimes at the end, I'll be honest, if I'm like struggling to go under both front loops, which I just did, sometimes I'll go under the front loop and the back loop. and it really doesn't make that big of a difference to me. If you only go under one, it does like structurally kind of not, it's not as sound, but otherwise. So I'm gonna chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, flip my work, wrap twice, skip the first one. Well, this one's coming out of the first one technically, and then skip the second one, and then go into the third one. Very easy. I think for a beginner, it would just be kind of like, what is a treble crochet? But treble crochet is very easy. You just, let me chain one. You just yarn over twice, and then insert your hook into your stitch. There we go. And then yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to have 4 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more, yarn over, pull through 2 more, and then you're done. So it's a lot like a double crochet, just a little bit longer. It's a little fuzzy on here. Hey, buddy. I gave you a blankie over there to lay on, okay? Good boy. Need to trim Arthur's nails. It's hard to do when it's cold because it's hard to wear gloves and do it. We'll get it done because we grind them off instead of cutting them. Cutting them kind of scares me. I don't want to cut them too short. Ooh. There we go. Did I put one? I make sure I didn't put more than one chain in between, and make sure I actually put the chain in between. Oh boy, both of you guys are taking baths. The cat and the dog. How nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing well. Oh, Kitty's coming up on the couch. Not to see me, but coming up on the couch. Which is fine, because he would probably just rub all up into this little thing on my neck holding the camera. That's a good thing. I've got that set up just in case I go over there later and flip everything around. But for now, switching it up a little bit. I need to do this more often anyway. So let's see. I don't even know how many rows in am I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. 15. I forgot when I started working on this one. It was whenever I ran out of the rainbow thread. Like 2 or 3 nights ago. I've been working on it for 2 or 3 nights. But it's, I mean, you can't tell because the camera's so close, but it's decently long. 36 inches is pretty decently long when you're using a 2mm hook, especially. But again, you don't really have to use that small hook. I feel like you could probably get away with like a 3 or maybe 4 if you really wanted like a big, holy kind of look to it. Holy look to it. Not that kind of holy. Ooh, we've been watching Castle Rock. I recommend. Very good. If you're into like Stephen King and horror stuff, oh yeah. Very good, very good. We have 1 episode left. I will say though, the second to last episode was very confusing, but hopefully the last episode will wrap it up well. Hi Shima, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope that it is not going like crazy in and out of focus too, and I hope that light isn't like casting a million shadows, but we'll see. It's the first time I've done this in a while, and especially with the new couch, so I just kind of have to see what works and figure it out. So I will show you, Shima. Let me see here. I wish that I had the picture that's on my phone. I mean, I could do the green screen thing, but I'm not really sure how to do it, so instead, I'm going to show you on my iPad here. Let me take a screenshot of it, would be easier. Then I can blow it up for you guys so we can really see. we're going for. Kind of blurry. But essentially, not that one, this one, this one. We're making two rectangle panels in order to make sort of a little poncho-y thing. um, I was inspired by Amazing Ish Grace here on YouTube and on Instagram. And so it kind of, you can sort of make it how you want. But she also put beads on hers, but I'm not going to do that just because I want to be able to wash it, not just hand wash it. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that. But basically, this is what we're aiming for, something like this. I don't know if I'm going to have mine quite be so off the shoulder. I might seam mine a little more on the side so that it doesn't do that as much. But that's what we're going for. I had one started in this rainbow thread, and I would, if I could think about it, figure out where I put it this morning, I will find it. But I ran out of thread, so I was like, dang it, and the thread's not coming until Saturday. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna not crochet until Saturday, so let's start one in white. So that is what I am working on. I've been working on it for maybe 2 or 3 days now. I just counted. I'm 15 rows in. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Hi, Amanda. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I think this will be good. But I'm excited to see how it turns out. I've just got to go back and count because I didn't exactly count how many stitches are in the row. So I need to figure that out before I make the back panel, but so that they're even. But I'll just have to count one row or 2 rows probably to make sure it's right. I know it's a couple hundred, but it's 36 inches and an odd number, but I'm not sure what odd number. I didn't actually, so the only thing is, Amazing Ish Grace didn't exactly go into detail about how she made it because she kind of does like vlog style crochet videos, I guess. She has tutorials as well, but this one's not necessarily like a tutorial. I'm trying to see if I can find what did I use to do this and who told me, because there was some video I looked up and it basically told me, you need an odd number of stitches and then skip 5 chains and then do a treble crochet and then continue on. I'm trying to see, should be, well, I would look through my history, but I have watched so much YouTube since that time that I'm trying to see, I don't see it right offhand. I'm pretty sure, did I look up crochet? No, I'm pretty sure, let me see if I can, square, no, did I look up rectangle? No, I looked up something. What did I look up? Rectangle. Rectangle. Crochet. Sure. Top. Mesh top. Maybe. Something like that. I gotta find it because I know it'll have the red where I watched the video. It's gotta be here somewhere. Well, I'm not finding it. Oh wait, no, is that it? No, that's not. I watched that, but that's not it. Well, I can't find it right now. But essentially, all you need is an odd number of chains, and then you skip 5, and then treble crochet into, I guess you could double if you wanted smaller holes, treble crochet into that, I guess technically second stitch because your 5 are going to count as your first. Oops, I didn't chain one in between. And then you chain one in between each treble. And then skip a stitch. So it's pretty easy and nice and repetitive, good TV project. Yes, she is. I know. I didn't realize. I've got to change something because I didn't realize. So, Rachel's in a different time zone. She's in California. And so, when I see people that have their streams scheduled in a different time zone, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just me, but it's not right on my end. Like for her, I think it, or I don't know, it said something, and I guess I just didn't register what day it was or something. But I also will see a different time sometimes. But anyway, no, I did see it, and then I saw that she went live at 1:30, and it came on. I got the notification, and I was like, oh man. So I may have to start streaming a little earlier, like I used to, because I didn't realize that she goes live like all the time at this time. I didn't realize that was like her schedule. So I think I'm gonna maybe move it to like closer to lunchtime. Maybe I'll because I feel like I could do 12 or 12:30 probably. You know. I know I didn't mean to. I feel bad though because I don't want her to think that I'm doing it on purpose. I definitely am not. I just didn't realize. And then today it hit me because I was like, this is not the first time this has happened. I was like, this must be her actual schedule, Amy. It's like I've followed her for a while, but I haven't been in her lives quite long enough to have established her schedule. And now I'm like, oh man. So I think I'll probably try to go live at like 12:30 next week. See how that goes. Because that would give at least an hour in between, I think. So maybe if I do 12, that would be better. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how early I can get home and then eat and then be ready. I'm trying to get around this stitch marker that I put there just to know where I started at. There we go. It's so pretty, the stitch marker though. Whoops, I missed it. It's okay, I can fix it without redoing the whole stitch. Look at it, isn't it pretty? It's from my favorite little Etsy shop, Making Meowgic. Yes, meow like a cat. She has some really cute stuff. And it's always packaged so beautifully, and it's always such good quality. She has beautiful safety eyes as well. She's got some really cute ones right now for Valentine's Day. No, she doesn't pay me to say that. I don't even know her like that. I just really like her stuff. Just really like her stuff. Because I've ordered like safety eyes from other shops, and I won't like crap on them. But like, sometimes safety eyes have like drips of resin or whatever on the side, and sometimes that can make it complicated to close the eyes, or something. Her eyes are always so perfectly done and neat, and there's never a little drip on the side. And they're always beautiful. So she does good work. What am I making? I'm making a sort of a poncho kind of thing, except don't think like triangle shaped poncho. Think more like a rectangle. I keep wanting to say square, but it's more like a rectangle. More like a rectangle. I think I showed it like towards the very beginning as well. So if you want to go back to the beginning, and probably in like the first minute or two, I showed the picture of it, but I'll show it again too in a minute if you want to see. I actually took a screenshot of it now, so it's easy to find. Here, I'll show you. I wish I could figure out which video. If I figure out which video I started making it with, I will let you guys know and put it in the description when I upload, because didn't know. There we go. This is what we're going for. I don't know what this is down here for, because that's not related to the video, or at least the part of the video I've watched. But yeah, we're going for kind of this sort of thing. You can't really tell because it's blurry from the screenshot, but it is a mesh top, kind of like this, except she has beads on hers, and I think she has a slightly fuzzier yarn as well, like a mohair, which I've never actually seen or felt, I don't think. But I might in October, because we have a trip planned to the mountains, and I found out that there is a Asheville yarn store, and I'm like, ooh, I've never been in an official like yarn store. Like I've been to Michael's and all the Hobby Lobby, the things, RIP Joann's. But I've never been in like a real like small business yarn store, so I'm excited. Very excited. I know it's going to be an expensive little store. Okay, I understand. It's a small business. I get it. Trust me. But I'm still very excited. I may just walk away with like a little hook or something, but I'm still gonna be excited to go. Oh no, did I skip a stitch? Nope. Okay, I thought I had skipped a chain there, didn't it? Just a tiny chain. It's a tiny chain, but it's there. So I'm very excited. That'll be fun. I'll have to take lots of pictures, and maybe I'll even take some videos and stuff if they let me. That would be nice. But I'll ask. But I'm very excited. I'm sure there's one like probably maybe somewhere an hour or so away. I don't know, but I haven't really investigated. But I know there's one there, and so I'm definitely gonna go. It's one of my main things I want to do while I'm there. Oh man, no, that's too far away. I was like, I want to go back to Maggie Valley too, but that's a little bit further away. I don't think we'll go back there while we're there. But it's a nice little town in the mountains that we went to. In fact, it's where we got all of our little, not all of, but like our giant amethyst crystal there and all that other stuff. Sorry. I'm not actually watching that. I just have the TV on for noise, but um but anyway, we had a really good time there in Maggie Valley when we did go. I forgot how many, that was like 5 or 6 years ago when we were dating. It was like our first real vacation together. Hey Rosalie. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Oh, Fatima. You know what? I would, but honestly, I haven't made anybody a moderator in a while. But if you stick around for, a little longer, chances are you might that might happen. But I just haven't done it in a while because I had kind of a problem one time where two people that are real dear to me had gotten blocked, and so I have to be kind of careful. And it's not that I don't, you just have to be careful. But I haven't added anybody really since then, just to kind of see how things went and all that kind of stuff. But if I am in need, Fatima, and you're still around and stuff, I will definitely do that. Eh. And also the other thing is I usually like to be able to like talk to my moderators on Instagram and stuff is the other thing about it. But it's just nice to be able to message them and stuff if stuff's going on. But that's the only other thing. But I will definitely remember you when I'm in need. Yeah, mesh top. Yes, this is my poor 2 millimeter hook top that I'm working on. I have one going in rainbow thread, but I ran out of thread and it wasn't coming until Saturday. So I was like, screw it, I'm starting another one. The rainbow one's probably only 2 or 3 inches tall. I think I'm only like 8 rows in, but this one I'm like 15 rows in. So it's going faster than I thought it would. I mean, it's a 2 point. It says 2/2.5. Does anybody else have hooks that do that where they're like 6/2 point what or 6.25 or whatever? I don't know, but my hooks will do that some of them, and I'm like, what? Why aren't you? Why aren't you more exact? Hey, Abigail, how are you doing? I'll show you guys the picture. I still have it pulled up on my iPad of what I'm hoping to go for, or I'm hoping by the time like I steam block it and everything, it'll sort of be like this. I've just got to figure out exactly how far to seam the shoulders and the sides. But I was inspired by her name is cut off, but Grace. There's an E on the end by Amazing Ish Grace here on YouTube, who does a lot of crochet and knitting content as well. She had put beads on hers, but I'm just not going to do that because I don't want to not be able to throw it in my washing machine if I want to. Which I know may not be the best idea, but I also have a video saved on how to weave in small ends like this. So, because I'm not really sure. I mean, I can do it, but I'm not confident in the fact that the ends are going to stay weaved in this. So, um, I'm going to watch that video later about weaving in small ends to help me do that. I saved a nice long tail somewhere over here. There it is. Ooh. Oh, you're doing good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Oh, you really want to learn how to sew? I know. I can hand sew. I wish that I could sew with a machine. I can hand sew, and I've been able to do that since I was a child. I think my dad taught me because his mom was a seamstress, so he knew how. My grandmother was a wonderful seamstress who had her own business and made curtains for a lot of wonderful, um, I don't want to say rich people, but important people, um, and probably rich, but at least important people, in a lot of really nice houses around here. And she she still has her sewing room out there. She passed this summer, but her sewing room is still out there. And one day I'm gonna get in there and investigate all the old fabrics in there and the machines and things. I would love to find a friend who knows how to sew and would appreciate to share some of those materials with. Oh my gosh. I may make a video one day or a little post because I know I've seen people do that where they'll like connect with other artists, and share like vintage things with them from their family. But it's got to be the right person who's going to appreciate it and do good with it and all that kind of stuff. But it's probably more than more than I'll ever use. So it would be nice to share with someone. You're doing embroidery right now? See, I want to learn embroidery. I feel like it looks fun, but also I totally understand, Abigail, when you say, what you were saying. Like, I feel like it totally could be very, very, very frustrating because I think I have tried when I was very young. I would always buy those little kits, and I never knew exactly what I was doing, but I would try. And so, anyway, I just feel like I know it can be frustrating just watching and seeing, but it also looks like it could be so satisfying if you actually, could do it. And I don't think I would get too crazy with it, but I would like to learn at least some of the basics, maybe. That was also something my grandmother did, actually. She did some of that too. Because I have this thing that we found, and I didn't know what it was, but apparently we found another one later on, and it apparently is a bow, but like the ends of the bows have been embroidered. And so, anyway, I was wondering what in the world is this thing for? And then my dad showed me. He was like, "Look, it's a bow." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, I knew it had to be for something specific. It wasn't just like this tapered ended piece of fabric that was embroidered. Like, it had to be something. And it was. Apparently there's still more yarn I need to go get up there too. I heard there's another container full of yarn. My goodness. I keep all of it in a special container though, so I know it's from Grandma, so when I use it I can be thankful and think of Grandma. So I have my shelf, but I don't want to just mix it in there. I always want to know that I'm using her stuff. So it's sweet. I'm thankful that she gave it to me and wanted me to have it. She knew I would appreciate it. She was like, "Can you use it?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah." "Oh yeah, I'll find a use for it, Grandma. Don't you worry." Because she did a lot of things with yarn, but not necessarily. Apparently, she did knit, which I didn't find out until after she passed. But she didn't knit very long. But she knitted enough to knit a sweater, almost a completed sweater, and apparently had a couple crochet hooks, but that could have been attributed to the knitting because you can use them to cast off and stuff. But anyway, I had no idea. I think she just thought it was different than crochet, so she never mentioned it. But I wish she had told me. I would have been like, "Grandma, what? You knit it?" Oh, thank you, Shima. Hi, Shima. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. Wait, no, I did. I saw you earlier. Geez, sorry. I forgot you were still here. Jeez. I'm a little tired, you guys. I really am. I didn't sleep good for like a couple nights, and so I'm finally. Last night I did better though, so I'm finally feeling a little better. That's why I didn't stream Tuesday, but I think the tiredness since I went back to work today, it's hit me. Since I got home, got some food in my tummy, and got sleepy. Bye, Abigail. Have a good rest of your day. Let me move this way a little bit so that light's not as shadowy. Because I could technically turn that off, but what time is it? 2:30, 2:30. Hold on. I don't know why it does that on those certain stitches where I have trouble getting in there, but it's okay. I wish I did have the rainbow thread, like I said, but it's not coming until this Saturday. And then I also need to get more yarn for the cardigan to finish it. So I just was waiting to get the money from the customer before I order the yarn, you know what I mean? So it's a little more expensive than I thought it was. This mandala yarn that like this blanket is made out of, it's a little more expensive than I thought it was. I forgot on Amazon anyway. I forgot how much it was for 3 balls. But I know Amazon can be kind of expensive on that stuff. I think it was it, how much was it? I can't remember. At first I thought it was like okay, and then I looked back at it yesterday. I was like, oh, whoa, whoa, a little more than I thought. Might have been like close to 30. I can't remember. But it was a 3 pack, but still, I think in the store they're like $5 or $6 a piece, maybe 7 at the most, the balls of yarn, and they have every color almost at the store except the one I need, and they don't even have a spot for it, so I don't expect them to get it. But this sucks. But it'd be all right. I'll figure it out. I'll have to just order it on Amazon if I have to, or I could technically order it through Lion Brand and yeah, use my little Cody thing, my little affiliate link in the description. But I don't know. Need to also link. I'll link her short video if I can figure out how to do that in the description. Amazing Ish Grace. I did put her name down there, but I'd like to link her video too. That would be nice. Get in there, buddy. Get in there. There you go. You can do it. 1, 2. I'm gonna flip it over because it always flips this little chain. Go through there. All right, another row done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish I had weaved that end in as I went, but I don't know that that would have also been the best way to weave it in either. But yeah, the Castle Rock show's been pretty good. If you're into like horror movie kind of stuff and Stephen King stuff, it's been pretty good. I can't remember. I think we watched something else before that, but I can't remember what it was called. I need to find something to watch while I crochet before my husband gets home. I think about what I want to watch. I kind of want to rewatch Ghost Whisperer, which is really random, but I really like that show, and I used to watch it all the time, but I got confused because like I didn't never see everything in order, and it was just like as it would come on TV or whatever, reruns, and so the storyline gets a little jumbled, and I'm like, I want to know what happened. Like I kind of know what happens, but I want to know what happened in between. So I might rewatch that. Kind of a random thing to rewatch, but you know. Oh, hi, Lady Bird. How are you? Whoops, 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 whoops. That darn one thing in that treble wants to come with me into the stitch. I don't know why. I hope you're doing well. I was snooping in your live earlier, but I believe was it earlier today or earlier yesterday? I can't remember, but I didn't stay very long. I was lurking, left a thummy. Left a wee thummy. I always try to do that. Usually I do it so automatically I have to like go back and double check. Did I do it? Because I just always, it's the first thing I do when I go into a stream is like it. Especially if like getting crochet people. Not every stream I go across do I like, no, but if it's one of you guys, of course. We are actually, yes. I can't remember what you were working on. I'm trying to remember what you were working on right this minute, but it was the one where the title was, oh gosh, that somebody was asking you about the title when I got there. Now I'm trying to remember what the title was, but anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about, I'm sure, when I say that. Let's see. It's getting warmer in here. Good, finally. It's been cold and windy today. It was a bit nippy walking home. Not too bad, though. Not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. Are you as scared as me? Yes, yes, yes. See, there you go. I knew you would know what I was talking about. You were explaining it right as I got there. Somebody had asked, and you were explaining it right as I was entering. I'm so glad I have this pillow now because it actually makes this so much easier. Because my crochet pillow, it's like a gaming pillow. Because before I felt like every tiny movement I made, moved the camera, and it was probably going to make people seasick and everything. Um, but now it's kind of like resting on the pillow, so it's not really moving as much, which is good. I like that. Maybe I can do this more often. Oh, thank you, Shima. I know I'm kind of like regretting the color choice now that I now that I see them in this lighting. But the color I was trying to go for like a neutral color because at first I wasn't gonna do a whole lot to them, and then I was like, I'm gonna put stuff on them. But thank you, I appreciate it. Because I had some fake ones on and they were in rough shape. I was like, I gotta put something on. They were a little scuffed up. Oops, oops, oops. That darn one is still trying to go with me. No, not you. Thank you. I only want 2 loops, not 3. I don't think it would be the end of the world if I got that, but I don't want to do it. But I don't have to. Let's see. Oops, wait. That looks weird. No, yes, it does look weird. Some looks weird. Let's go back here. Some looks funny. I don't know that it was, but just in case. I have had to frog it a few times, but not much. Just because like I didn't chain one or something. And sometimes I can get around that, but sometimes you just can't. So sometimes it just looks too weird and you got to do something about it. But there's probably a mistake in here. Let's put it that way. But it's not too bad, like I said. And by the time I block everything, I think it'd be fine. I should be just fine. I'm excited. I feel like it's gonna feel better. The rainbow thread is a lot softer than this white thread, but I just think I don't even know. Is this cotton? It might be cotton. That's probably what it is because it kind of feels cottony. Feels a bit cotton-like. I had to guess. Aunt Lydia's crochet thread. Anybody know what it's made out of? I don't know. I got the big giant one for the first time. The 1,000 yards. Look how thick that is. Look how deep that goes. My finger gets lost in the hole. It's so many layers in there of the little spirals. My husband still doesn't believe it, you guys. He's like, there's no way that's 1,000 yards. There's no way there's that many football fields worth of. Yes, it is. He does not believe it. He literally doesn't believe it to the point that he bought a skein of cotton yarn, like how you can get those small skeins of cotton yarn. He bought a small skein of cotton yarn and he wants to, when it warms up, take it and grab one end and start walking across the farm because we have a big farm that we live on. And so he can literally grab one end and walk to the other end of the farm and see how long it really is. I'm like, bet, let's do it. Because he doesn't believe that it's that long. I can't remember how long those skeins are. It's like a peaches and cream skein, however long those are. I think maybe like 150, 250 yards or something. But yeah, he does not believe it, not even for a second, that can be 1,000 yards or whatever in each skein. He's like, no, Miss Rivera, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good day. I got my duckies on. Miss Rivera, I think it was yesterday. I think was International Rubber Ducky Day, but I didn't find out until today. I think it was yesterday. I saw something about somebody had posted something, and I'm pretty sure it was from the day before. But I was like, oh man, International Rubber Ducky Day. I wish I had known. I would have celebrated somehow. Yes, I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's so ironic because you had your video and everything. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that's so funny. Ms. Rivera posted you guys a video of her charms that she has made and purchased, and she had these cute little rubber duck charms in there, little glittery ones that I thought about her. I was like, oh my gosh, that's funny. She basically posted her video on Rubber Ducky Day. Right? I know. I loved your little story too about the incubator. They're so cute. I never did that. I've never actually done that before. Despite living on a farm and despite, going to like kindergarten and doing the things, I don't think we ever did that. I don't think we ever did that one. I mean, we hatched some naturally, but they were chickens. They were just chickens. I always wanted a little duck though, but Dad was always like, "What are you gonna do with a duck?" I mean, we have a pond, but it's not visible from the house. Like it's halfway across the farm. So he was like, "What are you gonna do with a duck?" I'm like, "I don't know. Put it in the bathtub." I'm a kid. I'm like, "I'll figure it out. We'll get it a pool." But no, no, no ducks for me. But they're adorable. They are truly adorable. The little yellow duckies and the little orange bills. I always admire them when I go to like Tractor Supply and see the little ducks and chicks. They're so cute. Or the fair or wherever. Am I gonna join Rachel's? If she's still on, I definitely will. I definitely will. I also have to figure out how to. There's like a way to redirect people to other people's lives. I think you have to like have permission or something. But me and Rachel sort of talked about it. But I want to figure out how to do that so that like if I'm live and I end, that I can redirect people to her live or whatever. I just gotta look into it a little more. I think there's like a setting or something I have to fix. Oh, I know. Oh, you know what, Miss Rivera? It's really not too complicated. It's actually real simple. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's really actually just kind of the same thing over and over again. It's really good to do like watching TV and stuff. I feel like it's a good nighttime project as long as I don't get too sleepy and skip something, skip a stitch somewhere, which happens, definitely happens. Usually it's a nighttime thing. Usually I got a little too tired, crocheted a little too long, and now I've skipped a stitch and I got a frog. But it's okay. Oops. I need to change the television. This is an awful show that's on in the background. I literally just put it on like TMZ Live or something because I was like, well, at least it's a news show, but at least it's not a political news show. No, dang it, no, let's not put it on Dateline either because Lord knows. I'm just trying to find something to put on the television that's not terrible. Leverage, that'll be fine. Thank you, Jesus. At least I know nothing awful is gonna come up on the screen with that. Okay, Jace. It's like it was trying to give me all the cop shows, and I was like, no, it's not what we're going for here. Oh, you just got home. Yay! That's right, it is your Friday. That is right. I'm glad for you. I think I'm going to go, not Friday, either Saturday or Sunday and to work, but other than that, I'm done. But it's going to be so cold tomorrow that walking in is not going to be a thing unless I want to turn it into an icicle because it's going to be 18 degrees. So we're going to skip the walking into work tomorrow since I'm able and go in when it is, maybe 30 degrees instead, like it was today. But it's still really breezy out there. I hear it. It wasn't as bad walking in though. I was surprised because the weather was like, it's so windy. But no, it wasn't too bad. On the way home, a little brisk on the face. But oh, thank you, Miss Rivera. Thank you. I got little hearts on my ring and index fingers too. I was saying earlier, I regret the color now, but it's on there now. I wish I had done a different pink, but I didn't intend on putting pink hearts on them. And then I found the pink hearts and I was like, oh yeah, I have these. They're actually face gems, but I use them on the nails. They actually are holding up very well though. They've been on there for a couple days and they're not really scratching, so I'm proud of them. Proud of you guys for hanging in there. Yep, yep, right? They do. They work. Rhinestones are rhinestones. Flatbacks are flatbacks, right? They should. As long as they're flat enough on the back. The hearts were kind of interesting to put on because they're like, stiff. So I kind of had to hold them down with the tweezers and let the stuff cure and then be okay. But whoa, couldn't get it wrapped. But yeah, thankfully it worked out all right. I was like, I gotta get both sides down so it's not like a flap of heart hanging up there. But I got them pinned down. Diamond dots. Oh, you know what, Miss Rivera? I've never thought of that. That's a good thing. You know what? I'm surprised I've never seen that because I see all these random things on Facebook, like with diamond art. I don't even think I'm not. I'm literally not even a member of like a diamond art group. I'm a member of like a lot of crochet groups on Facebook, which, by the way, if you ever need advice for crochet and you're on Facebook, there's like beginners amigurumi groups and stuff. There's one like specifically named that. The people in that group I've always had really good experience with, personally at least, and they're always really nice and they have a lot of advice. Like, I mean, even if it's like, look, I have my project and I don't know how many rows I am in. Can you help me? They'll count the rows for you and tell you. Like, I mean, anything. Um, so keep that in mind if you ever need like resources for crochet and stuff. But I forgot where I was going with that. Let me see if I can remember. Oh, shoot. No, I still don't remember. Whatever. It's fine. ADD. But like I said, that's a really good resource for crochet if you do happen to be on Facebook. Like beginners amigurumi is one of the groups that I'm in that I've always appreciated. I think there's a couple other ones. There's like a Woobles group if you're into the Woobles, all kinds of stuff. But like I said, they're always really nice. You can post pictures and ask them questions and show your work and ask like if you want to find a certain pattern and you need help, maybe they'll help you find the pattern or whatever. Oh, the diamond dart. That's what it was. Ding, ding, ding. So the diamond dart, I get all these recommended things on Facebook and they'll be like diamond dart things and they'll show them like making ornaments out of it or just like random covering random things with them. I'm surprised I've never seen the nails. That is, I'm just surprised because like I said, I've seen so many things about those diamond dart things. Hmm, surprised. Oh, I have a thing that I'm doing now this year, which I need to add to. But the ornaments that I usually use to make like my beaded ornaments that I made at the end of last year, um, they're clear plastic ornaments. And so I have one and I'm taking like a little, and I mean little because I want to be able to fit them all, um, which I guess I could smush them, but like, I mean, maybe like that long, little tiny tail. A piece of yarn from each project that I finish, and I'm gonna put it in that little clear ornament and then put the year on it. It's not my idea. I did see somebody else do it, or a photo of it actually, so I have no person to credit. But um, I'm gonna do that this year, and I'm also gonna really try to keep track of how many projects I've completed this year. Um, so that's the goal anyway. So far, if I think about it, I think I've done 3 total completed projects. I made a bunch of hearts this weekend, which hopefully I can show you guys when I put them up at my patient's house. Maybe I can take some pictures and show you guys. But I'm going to decorate her little tree. And I brought them there today. But you guys, listen, I brought the bag of stuff. I had put it in a gallon Ziploc bag. I literally take my stuff out on the porch and get it all ready and then walk in their house, right? Well, I had taken it out, and what I didn't realize is I went inside to put their dog away, and darn it, the bag had fallen off the porch. So the whole day I was there, I thought, well, I'm so sorry. I forgot to bring the stuff. I feel so bad. I really wanted to decorate for you today. And I felt bad, so I just did my rest of my work and went about my day. And then I was getting ready to leave, and I was gathering my stuff, and I went, there it is. And so I found it right before I left. But anyway, I'll put it up next time I go. But I made her a bunch of hearts, and I made a heart garland, and then I made myself a heart garland. So I need to take better pictures of it, but it was cute. They're pink, purple, and red. But I'm excited. Ah, the fur babies, they are doing well. Look, there's a fur baby snoozing. Speaking of embroidery, that pillow with the A on it is my great grandmother made that pillow. Um, it happens to be there because there's the other baby. It happens to be there because I was the only person in the family with the A name. So it was given to me, and it works even better now that I have a last name that starts with an A and a first name that starts with an A. So it was meant to be because my great grandmother's last name started with an A. So that's why she had it, but made it. But I pull it out usually around this time of year because the colors is kind of goes with the Valentine's Day stuff. Beanie's cousin, I know, my little sleepy baby. I love his little white spot above his under his nose. His little black spot under his chin. Little Toby, little cute Toby. Those whiskers, goodness, luscious. Archer's got his little face hidden. Oh, I see an eyeball popping open. See a popping open eyeball. Oh, it's closed again. It's closed again. All right, you get some rest, little feller. Got his little Kong ball over there. Oh, they're so precious. I'm a lucky mama. Little one has ruined all other cats for us because, and Arthur has really ruined dogs for us too. But they're just too good, you know. Little one is just so sweet and loving for a cat. You know, some cats are just really independent and just don't really want to be in your face and don't like being in your face and don't want you in their face and you know. But little one, he will just come over and rub you all day long and want to snuggle you. He's the sweetest. And little Arthur, of course, he always wants to be by his mama or daddy pretty much. So, aw, let's see. Maybe can you not hear? Oh, okay. Hold on, you guys. Sorry, you guys. It's because my mic is over there. Um, I can move it though. I'm glad you said something. Let me put it right here. It's because I didn't want to accidentally bang my neck tripod thing into my mic, but I can totally move it and try not to bang into it. If I do, let me know. if I keep rubbing it, let me know because my sweater may rub into it as well. Oops, I gotta adjust. There we go. It's like I gotta be able to see, not through the screen. I can't crochet through the screen very well. I'm gonna try. Let's see. Let's try. All right, look through the screen, Amy. Through the screen. I'm afraid I was doing it earlier, but I was afraid that now we hear you. Yay! Oh, thank you. Hi, Cat's Den. How are you? I'm like I said, if I'm still or not if I'm still if she is still live, I will definitely go in there when I'm done. I'm just not sure who's going to be. She'll probably still be going because she goes for quite a while actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, she streams for maybe like almost 3 hours sometimes. So depending, probably because like I said, I usually only stream for at the most 2 hours. So more than likely, more than likely. Can't remember. I was gonna go in before I started, but I had already got my description and everything set up, so I couldn't exit out of the thing yet. Oh, how are you? Ooh, spin your own yarn. Ooh, that sounds fun. I've always thought that would sound kind of fun, but also kind of like I'm sure it's very tedious. I know I just got a yarn winder for Christmas, and I know for me, at least the one that I have, like, oh my gosh, I think it's the little thing that holds the yarn, not the thing that spins it, but like tensions it or whatever. Man, that thing is always moving around on me, and it will make my yarn start sliding down to the bottom, and then I have to stop and unwind and then read. Oh my gosh, it's a process. So I'm sure that doing that could also be a process, but it also looks really fun when I see other people do it. When I see them like take the fiber and spin it down and do all the things, and the stuff that they end up with is really cool. I always love like the multicolored stuff too, the variegated stuff or the really bright colored stuff. Oh my gosh, I see so many beautiful skeins of yarn on like Instagram and stuff, but I'm like, it's in a hank. First of all, is the problem because for some reason I'm convinced if I undo a hank, it's just going to be in a million knots. Um, but we'll see. I'm going to have to do it one day. I either need to buy a Swift or figure out what to do without a Swift, put it around a chair or something, I guess. I think that's what people do. But now that I have the yarn winder, I'm one step closer. So maybe if I do go to the yarn store in Asheville, if I do buy a hank, I can actually use it. Because I do have one hank, but it was a gift and I do not want to ruin it. It's cashmere. And so I've waited until I had like a yarn spinner, which I just got, and then um, maybe wait until I get something to put it on, like a Swift or whatever. But we'll see. I will show you, Miss Sarah. Hold on one second. Let me finish this little triple treble. I want to call it a triple all the time. Um, Somebody tell me, is there a difference, or do some people call it the same thing? Because I feel like I've heard people call it a triple crochet, but I've also heard people call it a treble crochet. So I'm not really sure. Are they different? Are they the same thing? All right, this is what we're working on. This kind of little, it's called like a poncho kind of, this little top. Um, there's this creator, amazing, her name is cut off just a little bit, but amazing-ish Grace, there's an E on the end. And she made them out of like 2 rectangle panels. And so that is what I'm working on. I have one going in rainbow thread, but I ran out. So I have to wait until Saturday for it to come. I was shocked Saturday because I was doing it through Prime. So I can't believe it took so long, but they're taking so long, but it is. Because I think I ordered it like on Saturday or Sunday. But anyway, it's super cheap. It's only like $5 because it's crochet thread, and there's 3 packs of them. So I think it was like $5.87 for 3 packs. It's the Carnival thread that Hobby Lobby sells. I can't remember. I think the brand is called like Artiste or something. The thread that they sell. But if you are curious, it's I can look it up actually. It's really pretty, the rainbow thread. It's basically got every color, including pink. So why would you not love it, right? I should just find it, but I'm not sure where I put it at. It may be in a drawer because I'm waiting for the yarn. Carnival. Now that I know the name of it is Carnival. 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 There we go. Can't spell. Carnival. The red. Artiste. Oop, Artiste, I think. There we go. This is what I ordered. Can kind of see all the colors there. Yeah, it's got the pinks, the blues, the reds, but that's the other one I'm working on is made out of this stuff. Artiste 100%. Oh, that one's acrylic. Okay, so that makes sense because that one was getting like slightly fuzzy on me and I wondered about it, but which I don't mind if it's a little fuzzy over time, but this one I'm pretty sure that I'm using the white is a cotton. They have a lot of solid colors too, but for 3 of them for $5.97, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's thread, so. Hi, Jackie. How are you? How are you doing? If you missed it, I will show you real quick again before I pick up my hook again. I'm working on a little poncho, kind of like this. It's hard to tell in this picture because it's a screenshot and everything, but it's a mesh. Sort of can tell on that one better, but it's a mesh panel, kind of 2 mesh rectangle panels, and I'm going to seam them together and hopefully make something sort of similar to that. So right now we're like 15 or 16 rows in. I don't know how many rows I'm going to go, to be honest. I think I'm either just going to like lay it on myself to see how long to go, or I will grab a t-shirt or something and kind of compare it a little bit to that to see kind of what length I want it to be. Some kind of shirt that I have, but it's really super easy to do. She doesn't go into a lot of detail, the amazing Ish Grace, on how to do it, but essentially you just need to make a chain with an odd number, ending in an odd number, to generally the length of however long, but roughly about elbow to elbow. And so for me, that was about 36 inches, I believe. And then you just skip 5 chains on the end, and then you're going to treble crochet into that 5th stitch, and then skip 1, chain 1, treble crochet into the next stitch, skip 1, chain 1, treble crochet into the next stitch till you get your little mesh going. It's a lot like doing, I guess, sort of like doing filet crochet, except you're not really making an image, you're just making the mesh. But it's really nice and repetitive and easy to do. Bye. Bye, Sarah. Thank you for coming. We have the same name. Well, cool. It's always nice to meet another. You know, I've actually met one time, I met another Amy Elizabeth, and it was funny because my birthday is 6/8 and her birthday was 8/6. It was really in the same year. It was crazy. Crazy. We were children too. We were like probably 7 or 8. We met at like a shoe store at the beach. How random. Our parents got to talking, and it turned out that we both were named Amy Elizabeth, and we both had birthdays, but they were opposite of each other. It was crazy. I know. It was the weirdest thing. I'll never have anything like that happen probably ever again. It was the craziest thing. I feel like when I told the story when I went back to school, I feel like I don't know if everybody believed me or not, but I swear to God, my parents backed me up. It's true. It's true. It's true. It is so random. It is, man. That just made me remember that. I forgot about that. Man, I wish I knew what her last name was. I would like look her up, you know. Like, do you remember that one time we met at a she'd be like, "Who are you?" No, but that's funny because our parents, I think, were both like, "Wow, this is crazy." So I bet our parents would remember, if nothing else. I think she had a little sister though, or something like that, if I'm remembering right. That was crazy. Mm-mm. My mom was always so proud. She's always like, "I hope you like your name because I worked really hard on it," you know, which is so sweet, you know. And I didn't for a long time. I really did not like my name because I didn't know any other Amy's. I know it's not a unique name, but I also just didn't know any other name Amy's at my school. And then eventually there was a teacher named Amy, but that was it. But then I was like, you know what? It's actually a good thing. You know, I'm glad there's not, you know, a mazillion. There is a mazillion, but you know, there's not one in every room. You know, so I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. Aw, yes, welcome, welcome. Got some lovely people here. Most everybody here has a channel as well and makes content and maybe does streams too, some of them. And yeah. Do you have a channel, Turtle Saver? Do you make contents? If you do, feel free to say. I don't mind other people finding other people through my stuff. I know some people don't like that, but I don't mind at all. I like for people to share and meet each other. Because I've been in a chat one time and they wouldn't let me, like, I met somebody from my state and then they started deleting our stuff. And I was like, oh man, that's so sad because we both were into crochet and stuff. And I was like, oh, and that certain like YouTuber. And so it made me really sad. And I didn't go back in their chat for a while. But now I've gone back and since then it's been fine, you know, but it made me sad. I was like, oh man. But I like it when people connect and find each other, you know. Ah, Lady Bird, thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you soon. I'll see you around. Give Beanie some pets for me. I'll keep his little twin company over here. It's little one's nap time about this time of day. He really zonks out about this time. He's really up in the morning and really up for the most part, sort of up at night, but he is really zonked out during lunch and early afternoon. Unless he's hoping for some food or something, then he's up. Yeah. Got to cut back on his food just a little bit, just because he's not outside like he was at one, you know. I've got to figure out how much is enough and how much is too much. But I think he's put on just a little bit of weight, so I think I just want to cut him back just a little bit, just so he doesn't start getting too tubby. Because I don't want him to have health problems from being a tubby kitty. But I know he's a house cat, and most house cats have a little weight on them. But, you know, I'm going to do what I can to keep him nice and active. But he's also, of course, neutered, so, you know, that also tends to make him gain a little weight. I forget about that. That might explain some of that, too, now that I'm thinking about it. I do forget that happens. It's normal. I think my parents have been kind of talking about another dog and thinking about what they would get, basically. And they keep deciding maybe a Chihuahua or a Shih Tzu. And I'm like, well, the only thing is, though, if y'all get a Shih Tzu, you're going to have to take it and get its hair cut, you know, every month and all that kind of stuff. Like, they can do the nails and everything and give it baths, but they're going to need to get its hair cut. And then there's another dog that we may end up with in the family that is also a Shih Tzu. And then I'm like, well, then you're going to have two to go get haircuts. So I don't know. They're thinking maybe they might get another Chihuahua. I don't know. I hope they do. I miss my sister dog so much. She was the best sister dog in the world. She'll be my only sister dog, really. I mean, they'll be my sister dog, but it won't be the same because I didn't live with them. I lived with Molly for almost 10 years, probably. So um, it's different. She really was my little sissy. Um, but I'm excited for them. I want them to have something because they always say people that have pets live longer, you know, older people with pets live longer. And I'm sure they do because, you know, if you have pets, how much love and joy they bring you, you know. So any kind of pet, you know. Oh, I know, Miss Rivera. I know. I'm sure. You just, everybody's timing is different, you know. I think it took me, how many years was it in between Spanky and Arthur? Probably five, maybe close to 5 years. So I totally understand, Miss Rivera. It took me, oh, quite sorry, you guys. I forgot I was doing that on the camera like that. I forget I'm not flipped around the other way. But I think it took me about 5 years maybe before I ended up with Arthur. And I don't know that I was looking. I think it just, my aunt ended up having, you know, a patient that had, or a patient or somebody that worked for her, I can't remember, had puppies and they needed homes. And so she knew that it had been a long time, you know, and asked if I was interested. And I was after I saw that little face. But you'll know. You'll know. When you see the right one and you see their little face, their little picture or whatever, you'll know. That's how I've always felt. Because that's how I was with my babies. I saw a little picture of Spanky. I said, that's the one. That's him. That's the baby I want. And because we did purchase Spanky when I was young, but then Arthur, um, he was adopted. It was him or his brother, and they showed me the picture, and I said, "Oh, look at the little brown one." His brother was black and brown. Yes, little sweetie pie, you. His brother was black and brown, just like him, same kind of pattern. And I said, "Oh, I've never seen a brown and brown little Chihuahua like that." I said, "I want the little brown and brown one, you know." I'm so glad. You're the sweetest. I couldn't trade you for nothing. Nope. Yeah. Oh, I know, Miss Rivera. That's the hardest thing. And that's how I know that's how my husband feels too. Um, because he had his dog, Mr. Um, and I know he feels that way because he's always like, I always always want to adopt an elderly pet. And he's always like, absolutely not. Just because his heart is so big for animals and especially for dogs that he's like, I cannot handle that, you know. And I'm like, I know, but I just want to give them a good life and, you know, while they're here. And he's like, I can't handle it, you know. So I understand. I totally would though if he was down with it. Oh my gosh, I would be so down with getting elderly dogs. Oh my gosh. I mean, yes, it would be very sad, but I think that the fact that I know that I'm giving them good years, would make it worth it. So, yeah. Wish I could have an entire farm. I know. I know. Man, I always used to want horses if they weren't, so expensive and a lot of maintenance. And gosh, it would be so nice to have so many different things and just to be able to have all the animals. But I also just like sometimes I feel bad having two. Sometimes I feel like I can't devote all the attention to Arthur, that I want because the cat's over here with me or. So I can't imagine having more, but at the same time, because I don't know, I just feel bad. I'm like, but Arthur's older, and I want to spend time with him. But I try very hard to equally spend time with him. If I sit and pet little one for a little while, I'll get up and then go pet Arthur for a little while, or whatever. Yeah, I know it is. It is. It's just like a person. They're just like little people to us. They are babies, little baby bobs. They're precious, precious, precious. Bring us all the joy. But I also understand it is the hardest thing because they do bring us all the joy. Oh, kitty cat, shook his little head. Kitty cat doesn't have a bell because my husband, it drives him crazy, but he does have his collar, so it makes little noises, which I'm glad because I like to know where he's at. He goes and hides behind the microwave when people come over and he's scared. He hides behind our microwave. I caught him there one day. I was looking everywhere for him. They delivered the couches, right? And I go and I go, where's the cat? Did he sneak out somehow when the door was open? Oh my god! Like I had the door locked, but I still thought, did I put him in the wrong room? What did I do? Because it was like they pulled up really fast, and I put him in there so fast that I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do with the cat? And did he get out? And then I come back in the room like a few minutes later after looking all over the rest of the house, and he just pops his little head out from behind the microwave. I was like, oh. Because the microwave's like in a corner, so it's like a little bit of space in the corner behind it. And Lord have mercy, he was hiding behind the microwave. Poor little soul. I just saw these little eyes come out. Oh, he was scared of our friend this weekend too, but he sort of got over it by the next day. He was pretty much over the fact that we had somebody over because he spent the night. But the first night, the cat was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this person that's here. Usually usually he comes back out after a little while, but this time he was a little more skeptical for some reason about us having somebody over. Usually he does pretty good, but we don't have a ton of people over, so he's like, what the heck? We kind of live kind of far out, so usually we just meet people somewhere. But poor little soul. He's learning though. Still glad. Oh my gosh, he almost escaped, Max said the other day. The cat literally went on the back step, the first step. Mac went out and held the door open and didn't realize, and the cat went on the first step. I was like, oh my god, no! I was like, don't ever let that happen again, please. I was so I was like, oh my gosh, poor baby. But I don't think he registered. I'm pretty sure he would have freaked out had he made it any further than that, because last time he went outside, he kind of freaked out a little bit on his harness. Um, he likes it, but he doesn't like it. I don't know how to explain it. He likes to just sit there and maybe roll in the dirt. But other than that, he is scared. He's scared of the other cats that could potentially walk up or, like a stray. Um, so I don't know. He gets really scared. So he's definitely an indoor cat, but he also apparently was a little curious. Apparently a bit curious. It happens. Because I've never really had him. I've always thought, well, I think he really loves being in here. He's never tried to get out, or anything. And then I was like, oh my gosh, he tried to get out. But he just stood there apparently. So, oh, you really want one? Your sister is scared of kitties. Oh, well, they're really not so bad. The worst thing a cat can really do is either scratch or bite you, and you can cut their nails if they're tame enough. And that helps so much. Oh my gosh, can't even express how much that helps. Because I cut mine's nails the other week, and I was like, "Oh, this is so nice." He tried to grab me, and like nothing happens. Um, and usually cats are pretty nice. If they're tame, they usually will give you a gentle bite before they like really bite you. If you're doing something they don't like, they'll kind of nibble you, like, hey, hey, don't do that. And then they'll really get you if you keep doing it. But which little one's never really got me. He sometimes gets a little frisky when you pet him, and he'll like kind of turn around and grab you and want to play with your arm or whatever. But other than that, he never does anything. Yeah. Oh, you totally want a kitty, but unfortunately he doesn't like kitties. Oh, I think he's nervous. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the worst things they can do. But like I said, the nail cutting, oh my gosh, helps so much because now when he grabs my arm or whatever, it's like psh, nothing. Absolutely no pain. Because I'm scared of them too. Like I have a very healthy respect for cats and their abilities to maim. I've grown up a lot around cats, and I remember one time this kitten, my mom picked up a kitten, and this mama cat freaked out, which, we didn't blame the mama cat, but the cat freaked out and grabbed my mom by the arm and just 10 on my mom's arm. And so, like, hanging literally. And I was a kid and I was screaming. I was like, "Get off my mama!" And anyway, luckily, of course, Kitty got down, and Mommy put Kitten down, and didn't do that anymore. And anyway, so I have a very healthy respect and fear of their claws and what they can do, um, and their little teeth. So I also try to like back off if I think they're in a mood, but and you can figure it out pretty easily when they kind of get in a little playful mood. Kind of look at them, their little ears kind of get pushed back and all that kind of stuff. You can kind of tell they're getting a little excited and ready to play. Their little tail starts going. You know. Oh, so fluffy. Do you want to be cuddly and a girl? Yes, mine is not a girl, but he is very cuddly. He really is. The only time he really wants to be by himself is about this time of day when he takes his real solid nap. But in about an hour or two, he's gonna come over here in my lap. And Arthur's usually right next to me too, but because I've got my crochet pillow on, he's over there. But um, man, the kitty is the sweetest, most cuddliest kitty I have ever had. And I've had a lot of kitties, but he really is just so sweet. He just loves all over you. And when you kiss his little forehead, he'll kind of lean back over to get another little forehead kiss. It's so sweet. He is the most precious. Let's see. It's Thursday, so probably Tuesday. Probably next Tuesday. I would consider doing a Saturday stream, but my husband's getting off early on Saturday, so I won't have time. But I will be back on next Tuesday. I'm gonna try. I may try to ask Rachel if I can catch her to ask her or leave her a comment or something. What time, if she normally starts at like 1:30, I may try to start at like 12 or something just so that there's a little more separation. I try not to worry about that kind of thing, honestly, just because if you worry about it too much, like you'll never go live because there's always going to be somebody else doing it, at the same time. But I do want to keep it in consideration and I don't want it to be exactly the, pretty much exactly the same. So I would prefer to maybe adjust it a little bit, and I can. So that's what I'm probably going to do is just move it up a little bit and see how things go. And then if things go well, I'll just keep it moved up to more like 12:30 or 1. Um, but like I said, I try not to think about it too much because if I think about it too much, then you'll never do it because there'll always be somebody else going live. It's like Miss Angie says, she's like, "Well, I try not to. If you were," it's like trying to. I told her, "Don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it because you can't. There'll always be somebody else if you really look at it that way, especially when you're a content creator and you follow a lot of other content creators, that do what you do. They're always going to be similarities and things. So you can't help it. Um, but I will maybe try to do a little bit earlier of a stream next Tuesday and see how that goes. Because I used to go live at like 11, so maybe that way I can catch some of those people still. Um, and that used to be able to come, and then also get some of the people that are on the West Coast that still wake up at a decent time. you know, so guess you might want to join their live too. But I know exactly, Miss Rivera, exactly. It's like, oh man, that's how I felt when I saw that Rachel was going live at 1:30. I was like, oh man, I want to go, but I've already typed in my description, and all I have to do is hit the go live button, so I don't want to exit out of all the things. I was like, oh well, later, later. What time is it? 3:24. Let's see. I might go in a minute because I do have to go to the restroom, and since it's already been like an hour and a half almost, that'll be good enough. I'll call it. We'll hang out for maybe 10 more minutes or so, guys. Usually at work peeking in. Yay! I know, me too. Said I'm hoping I can do some more Saturday ones too. That would be nice. Because I feel like those are good because, all the people that are busy during the week can catch the Saturday stuff. That's always good. I would like to potentially, I don't know, I got to think about it though. I won't say anything. I got to think about it. Me over here going, never mind. It's okay. I do have one goal or two goals for the year. One of them is to maybe hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And then the other one would be to reach, like, Miss Angie always has like a goal, like, and I never see, like, this whole stream, I have not mentioned hit the like button, not one time. And that's partly, that's on me. Like, I need to do it more. But I also just don't have the amount of people that come in as she does either. Like, I don't have the same numbers. But she always has like she's always like, all right, let's get it to 10, let's get it to 20, let's get it to. And I never do any of that, and I feel like I should. So I feel like I want to make like a goal to meet at least, like, I don't know, I'm going to start maybe like with 30, that because I don't think I've ever gotten as many as 30 before, so I'll start with 30, right? I think I've gotten 25, maybe 26, maybe 27 at the most. So I would say, like, maybe let's start with 30 and see how that goes. But those are like my two little goals for the year so far, and they may change depending on how things go. But for now, they're small and reasonable goals. I feel like 150 subscribers in a year is definitely doable. I just have to post things a little more often. Whoops, fell right out of there, didn't I? But I'm gonna try to. And I also do still want to learn to edit and stuff. I just need to actually take time to do it. But right now I have my shop thing that I'm trying to focus on first, and then I'll worry about that afterward. But I'm still excited. Everything's gonna be good. It'll be a good year. We all need a good year, right? So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna make lots of good things. Maybe we'll learn some new things. I'm sure we will. And most importantly, we will have fun. Well, Miss Rivera, now that you ask, I need to put in my financial information to pay for said shop. And then once I do that, I should be basically done, I think. Because the way Shopify works is like there's a trial, which I didn't realize that I had already done the trial, but apparently I finished the trial, and so now I can't get back in to like do anything until I pay for the, like, whatever a month. So I've got to do the whatever a month, and then and then I can. I think it's like five. It's like $5 or something. It's not much. It's a lot. It seems to be a lot less fees than Etsy, from what I've understood so far, but I also don't know that they push out your stuff as much as like an Etsy does. But I've also seen people make videos about Etsy that said, like, I sold something that was $300 and I made $20 off of it because of the fees and the things that Etsy has. And I'm like, wow, that's ridiculous. So that scares me away from Etsy, which is why I'm trying the Shopify. But I'm very close. I need to do that. In fact, I'm probably gonna, if I don't work tomorrow, that's probably what I'm gonna do, is put in my stuff and then figure out what else I have to do to get it up. So I'm excited. I just wanted to have stuff on it. And so I wanted there to be things. I didn't want to just open it and it be nothing in it, you know? I want there to actually be things people can purchase in there. So I'm like trying to go through my old stuff and be like, all right, what can I what can I put on here? Go through my little bin. What can I sell? And I also am getting a food scale this weekend so that I can weigh things because I do remember when I was messing around with it that it does ask you like the weights of things. And I was like, oh crap, like I don't know. I don't know how much this plushie weighs. So I am gonna get the scale probably this weekend and then I'll have that so I can put the weights on everything because it needs to be accurate if I'm trying to actually make money, you know? I don't want to put the wrong weights and then screw myself in shipping or something. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad. Because I have paid a lot for shipping at different times. Like, I feel like the most I've ever paid to ship anybody anything so far was $14, which is a decent amount for shipping. Can't remember if that was an animal. I think it was an animal. I don't think it was the scarf order that was like 5 scarves. I think it was an animal. So I mean, I usually pad them pretty good, which some people don't. Some people put them in like poly mailers instead of boxes. But I don't know. I feel like I want my animal to not get crushed, you know? Especially depending on what it is. Like little Nala, I wouldn't have wanted her to get crushed with her little ears and her tail with the wire in there so you can bend them. I wouldn't want all that to be all jacked up. I want them to look nice. Sometimes they still are a little rough when you pull them out of the package just because, it just is what it is. You just have to fluff them up a little bit. But for the most part, you want them to look nice when they come out, right? So, but I've also heard a lot of people have good luck mailing stuffed animals with poly mailers. Maybe it just depends on what it is, you know? So that's what I'm thinking anyway. All right, you guys, let's see. We got like 2 or 3 more minutes. I'll hang out and then we'll buzz out of here. I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you for keeping me awake long enough for maybe my coffee to kick in, And hopefully, I should be back Tuesday if all is well. And probably sometime around lunchtime, Eastern Standard Time. And I will probably make a post before then. And don't forget, if you guys haven't checked the description, check it out because I have my Instagram information in there where I post pretty often. Usually about every day, I post some kind of story about what I'm working on, what I'm doing, or the animals or something. And then I also have links in there if you ever need any line brand or Premier yarn. If you choose to use my links, that does help me out. Even just clicking the links is also helpful. They keep track of that as well. Um, but yeah, and I also have Amazing Ish Grace's name down there so that you guys can check her out here on YouTube or on Instagram. The woman who inspired the top that I'm making today. Hopefully, I will have made a decent a bit of progress over the weekend. Although I know when I get that rainbow thread, my heart's going to tell me go back to the rainbow one. So we'll see which one the progress gets made on. But either way, I'll work on it. And who knows what we'll work on next week, if it'll be this, if it'll be something else. But we will figure it out for sure. And I might even make a little poll or something and let you guys pick what we work on. So, oh, Rachel, you just finished. Oh, no. Okay, Rachel, while you're here, let me tell you. So, I didn't realize, I've just now, it's come to my attention that I'm streaming at the same exact time as you. And I said earlier, like, I try not to worry about that because it's like one of those things where you're always going to be doing it at the same time as somebody. But I also feel kind of bad. So, I'm going to try to stream like 12:30 my time next week and try to move mine up a little bit and so that it won't be quite as close to yours because I've realized now that we're streaming like really close to the same times. Because I realized last week when I posted like early in the morning and then you made a post that you were gonna, and I was like, oh man. And then it happened again, and now, and I'm like, okay, all right, let me do something about this. So I'm just gonna try to move mine to like 12:30 next week, and see if 12:30, and see if that's any better. Aw. Because I just don't want you to think like, I don't know. Don't want you to feel any kind of way or anything. Like I said, I try not to worry about it, like I said, because I just know, you know, when other people, it's always gonna be somebody. So you just kind of have to do it when you need to do it. But I also at the same time feel kind of bad. So I think I'm gonna move mine up a little bit just because I can too. Like today I was kind of crapping around waiting for it to start. So it won't be a big thing to move it up a little bit. So no big deal. No, Rachel, of course, that's right, exactly. Everybody's got things they got to do. They got to do it when they can do it. Exactly, exactly. You got to do it when you can do it. But I can technically do it a little earlier if I just eat my lunch a little faster. So I might just give that a try, see how it goes. Um, but yeah, I appreciate all you guys so much for being here. I truly, truly do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Dang, I was gonna go hang out in your live after I was done. Oh well. Anyway, I will definitely see you guys next week as long as I'm feeling better. And Rachel, I'm glad you're feeling better, by the way. Um, and hopefully, like I said, we'll have some more progress made on our little top. Yeah, so we got a couple rows in, but I mean it's 300 and something stitches, I think, long. So not too bad. Oh, Monday is Members Lab. That's right, it is. I hope I'm still a member by then. I may have to just join with my own money instead of free memberships. Oh, me. But yes, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, we'll make some progress doing some things. I hope you guys have fun making some things too. And I will see you guys later. Bye.